Hello, friends. All right, it looks like it looks like there's maybe a little bit of issue with Facebook. I don't know if I'm in Facebook, but I should be live at least on YouTube. Hopefully everyone finds me. Welcome to tonight's last night of Camp Wow. This has been an amazing week hanging out with you all and doing fun stuff, making some really cool projects. I've just enjoyed it so much. But it's not over yet because we are going to make one more fabulous project for night 4 Wildflower Wishes. We are making this pop-up box card. It has all these flowers inside. It lays flat, so you can put it in an envelope, and when you open it up, you can set it up, and it'll stand up, and you can see all the flowers inside. It's so cool. That's what we're making tonight. So if you are here and joining me live, leave me a comment. Let me know if you have enjoyed Camp Wow, if it's something you'd like to see again. I don't know. Let me know the rest of your summer plans. If this is if you're watching the replay, sorry, I get lost mid-sentence. My mind gets sidetracked and I forget what I'm talking about. If you're watching the replay, special welcome to you as well. Make sure you leave me a comment. Let me know that you came and you watched. Let me know if you're going to stamp and make this project. If this is your first time here, welcome. I am Heidi with Onigo Stamping. I'm going to help you reconnect with your inner artist by using stamps, ink, and paper to make beautiful handmade cards and gifts just like this one. I almost can't decide if this is a card or a gift. It's like a card and gift all in one. Hello, Holly. You're loving oh, I'm so glad to hear that. And you like the box of goodies. Those are so much fun to make. All right, I'm going to set my prototype aside. Don't forget our merit badge for this evening is the little flower that's from the stamp set, from the Impressions of Bloom stamp set. So hopefully you'll have earned all 4 merit badges by the end of the night. This project does use the Impressions of Bloom stamp set. That's the only stamp set it uses. And actually, it only uses one stamp. We just need that thanks stamp. So I already have mine. I took it out. I put it on a block. It is ready for later. Mostly tonight, we have to do a bunch of cutting and a bunch of die cutting. Oh, you're so welcome, Kimberly. I'm so glad that you have enjoyed them. So let's start by doing a little bit of cutting of our designer series paper. We are going to use the Totally Cute designer series paper, and I am using this pattern and then the stripe. Now, if you wanted to use something different, you could. Definitely up to you. But this is what I'm going to use. And let me see. So we need the sides to be 4 of them that are 2 inches by 3 1/8 inch. So I'm going to do this 3 1/8. Oh, no. You know what I did? Let me see. Yes, I did 3 1/8 this way. So I kind of want my stripes going up and down. So I'm going to do 3 1/8 this way. And then I'm going to do 2 inches this way. And we need 4 of these. 1, 2, 3. Now the next piece, before I cut the 4th one, I am going to cut the larger piece because this needs to be 5 1/4. This is important because otherwise you won't have enough. We're going to try to make fewer mistakes than I did on Tuesday. So we're going to cut this 5 1/4. All right. And then we're going to cut a piece that is 2 inches. So 2 inches by 5 1/4 inches. We're going to cut another 2-inch piece, and this one is going to be 3 1/8. So I'll cut this to 2 inches, and then I'm going to cut it to 3 1/8 inch. You know what? I did that wrong. We actually want the other pattern for the inside. That's okay. We're going to redo this again. Oh, my goodness. All right. You can put stripes. I had planned green. So let me see. We need 3 of these that are 2 inches by 2 1/8. So I'm going to cut 2 1/8. I thought I was going to make fewer mistakes. Clearly, I am not. And then we're going to cut them 2 inches. So 1, 2, and this should be 2 inches. 3. There we go. And then we're going to cut one that is 5 1/4 by 2 inches. So I'm going to cut it this way, 2 inches, and then we'll cut 5 1/4. All right. That's all the cutting we need to do. Now we need to do our die cutting. Now, if you have the tutorials, and this is a giant tutorial bundle, 30 pages, lots of pictures in here. But if you have it, one of the things that it has is that it has this lovely picture that's going to show you exactly what pieces we need to die cut. So that's what we're going to start with, is doing this die cutting. And then we'll build the box, and then we'll decorate it, and it will all be fabulous. So I'm going to pull out my cutting plate. The big thing is that we need six little early espresso small centers. So every time I cut, I definitely want to make sure I have some early espresso on there, because that's what we have to cut the most of. So let me see. Did I get it, guys? I did. So we're going to cut a small center and a big center while we're at it. And I'm going to use both pieces for these. I'm telling you, I'm going to lose the inside of this small center at some point. It is so tiny. So tiny. All right. So a small center and a big center. And I'm going to slide on here my strawberry slush. And I'm going to cut a big flower from the strawberry slush. And let's see, what else can we fit on here? I'm going to put my Darling Duckling on here, and we're going to cut a small flower from the Darling Duckling. All right, we'll run this through. I can figure out which way this goes. So we'll run that through, start cutting our first one. So we know we need to cut at least 6 times. Hopefully, we don't have to cut more than 6. So hopefully you have your cut and emboss machine right there with you. Maybe if you have the supplies, maybe you pre-cut them. Did anyone pre-cut your pieces? I don't know. All right, so we have one little yellow one. We're going to make another yellow one, so I'm just going to move that over and do it again. Except it fell and I lost its spot. And then our centers, those again. Just move them over. Come out. There we go. All right, we're going to cut another one of these big strawberry slush flowers. So we need 2 of those. So I'm going to run that again. Teresa, you pre-cut other pieces. That was super smart of you. Super smart. Ugh. So that's all we need from the strawberry slush. So I'm going to send the strawberry slush away. We'll put the big flower away because we don't need any more big flowers. Set that aside. And there's my 2 strawberry slushes. We have our early espresso again, our little centers. Now I don't need any more. We just need 2 big centers. So I'm going to put the big center away because we don't need that one anymore either. I'm going to keep the early espresso though, because we need to cut more of these. This will be the 3rd one. We're going to pop out this yellow. We need to cut 1 more yellow flower. So 1 more small yellow flower. We need to cut some white. I'm going to move my basic white piece on here. And these are going to be like the daisy style flower. Okay. What I'm calling perhaps the medium flower. Put that on there. And then I'm going to cut out this little one out as well, which is like a side, right? So that's pretty well loaded. I'm going to cut this, send this through. Cut number 3. 3 more to go. I wish there were 2 small ones in this. That would be great. My white totally moved. Hopefully that'll fit on here now. All right. We need 2 more of these whites of each of, 1 more of each of these. So I'll set those aside. Aside. All right. Here's going to be our 4th small center. We're going to cut another white, big daisy. Big. We can put these both on here. Yep, there we go. Small daisy. Now I've cut all the darling duckling. So we're done with the darling duckling. We're done with the small flowers. I'll put the small flowers away. And we're going to start cutting some green. So let's grab, I'm going to grab my granny apple green. And I want to cut one of these big stemmy ones. And then 2. Did I do this? I think I did. Well, I'm going to do these ones. I'm going to cut 2 of these. Oh, no. I do have 2 of these. Okay. We're going to do 2 of these leaves. All right. So I'll run that through. This is cut number 4. Whoa. I totally just knocked my cutting plate against my cut and emboss machine and all the pieces slid. So I have to fix them. How silly is that? Oh my goodness. I probably should have just pulled my whole cut and emboss machine out. But it's still nicely situated over here on my shelf. And it's so big. All right, so we don't need any more white flowers. So I'm going to put those aside. It's back where they go. We have our 4 white flower pieces. There's 1 more center. So now we have 4 little early espresso centers. We're going to cut a 5th early espresso center. We have 2 more to cut. We have all of our granny apple pieces. So I'll pull this out. Set those aside. And now we need 2 big stemmy leaves of the garden green. So I'm going to pull in my garden green. We'll cut 1 and then we'll cut the other one. This is going to be perfect. This is the 5th time through. So this is the 5th little circle that I have. And then we can get to the more fun stuff because this is kind of all the die cutting. I love that there's dies, but boy, punches are so much faster. All right. So we have some garden green. Go. There's a garden green leaf. I'm going to make another one of those. We're going to make 1 more little center. And this is going to be the last cut. All right. So slide this through. We can get on to the fun stuff. Okay. So there we go. We have all of our die cut pieces all ready for us. Let's come from here. Always a struggle to get the dies back where they go. All right. There we go. We have all of our pieces. We're going to build our flowers now. I'm going to set the dies aside. We're all done with the die cutting. And we're going to start by adding a little bit of color to our flowers. I've said it before that I just really, sometimes die cut pieces, they're kind of flat, right? And so by adding just a little extra color to them, it kind of helps them pop a little bit. So let me find my strawberry slush. I'm going to take my strawberry slush and I'm going to grab one of my sponge daubers. One of them should be kind of ready. All right, this bunch strawberries I've been using, there they are. Right, this one had cherry cobbler in it. I'm just going to try to get. It took you some time to find this. I'm sorry, Virginia. Were you looking for it on Facebook? Because something happened with Facebook and it suddenly, I think, decided not to post over there. And I don't know why. But I'm glad you made it here. All right, so I'm going to ink this up with a little strawberry slush. And we're just going to add this to the center, kind of dot it out a little bit. We don't want a harsh circular line, but we just want to add a little bit of extra color. You could come in and you could do the sides too if you wanted. Do the other one. That one got a little heavy-handed, but that's okay. Just going to flick it. There we go. So that's all for the strawberry slush. Then I'm going to grab my darling duckling, because that duckling is a darling. I'm going to grab the darling duckling, and we're going to add darling duckling to the centers of the darling duckling flowers and the white flowers. So grabbing my sponge dauber again, just going to lightly tap that off into the center, adding a little bit of spongy color. We don't want to cover the whole thing. We just want to get it a little bit. There we go. Then we're going to do the same thing with the yellow ones, or with the white ones, just a little bit. I'm going to try to keep very light-handed towards the center. Go. This one. And then finally on this one. And then we're going to start adhere. We're going to glue them together. So we're going to add the centers to our flowers. Hopefully y'all can hear me well enough. It is wicked hot at my house, as I think it is like everywhere right now. It's wicked hot, and so I have my air conditioner going. It's a little bit noisy, so I'm hoping that it's coming through. All right, so these little half ones, I'm actually going to glue these together and just kind of make them a little bit off center. Like, I don't want them to match up exactly. I'm going to make it just a little bit fuller and kind of make it double like that. All right. And we'll add a center to the center of it. I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool. Sometimes with little pieces, Teresa, you're hearing me good? Good. Sometimes with little pieces, I like to just pick them up with my Take Your Pick tool and then put glue on them. And they don't stick very well, so sometimes it works better than others. And then stick them down. So that creates our little like cone flower. Oh. Creates our little cone flowery looking daisy. We'll add the centers to our other daisies. Oh, and I just like that little bit of yellow just gives them a little bit of something. All right. Next center. And I just like to put these together so I don't lose pieces. Those little centers are so easy to lose. All right, now the darling duckling ones. These are also getting small centers. Add a little green glue to that. Pop it in the center of our little darling duckling flower. Oops. We got another center. That is the last of the small centers. Now we're going to put the big centers on the strawberry slush flowers. Here's my 2 strawberry slush flowers. little glue in the center there, and it seeps through the holes, which is really kind of frustrating. But all right, so there's one. And here's the other one. There we go. So now our flowers are all built. And we can start working on our box. Tonight's project, I think, is not going to take as long as last night's project. It's a little bit easier. All right, slide my pieces aside because now I want to pull out the garden green pieces that are in your packet. All right, so we have this garden green, and you'll notice it has 4 score lines this way and 1 score line this way. We're going to cut this. So I'm going to grab my paper snips. And I'm going to cut on these 4 lines. Now I want to pick the smaller half. Okay, so this is the larger half, and this is the smaller half. I want to cut the smaller one. And I'm just cutting on the score lines down to that score line. Okay. And this last one over here. This isn't even complicated cutting tonight. Like it was. I saved the easiest one to last, I think. I'm just going to cut this at a little bit of an angle. There we go. I'm going to cut this one down here at a little bit of an angle. So that's going to be the flap we glue. So that's all the cutting. That's it. And we're going to fold this. Now, be careful. Don't fold yet. Listen before we fold. We're only going to fold these 3. All right. This one right here, we're going to leave it unfolded. These 3 we're going to fold. I'm going to fold these towards me. Just like that. This one I'm leaving unfolded. And then we're going to fold this way. We're going to fold each of these the same direction because it's going to make a box. And don't forget, there's one that we're not folding. Now, if you accidentally fold it, it's okay. But, yeah. All right. So I have this in front of me. I'm going to pull these 3 towards me. Actually, no, first, I have this in front of me. We're going to adhere our striped pieces. So my striped pieces, I am going to adhere these to my box. And actually, you know what? I cut that one big, which means I could actually make it big. But I'm just going to leave it there. So we're going to adhere these 4 little ones. Oh, look at the turtle. He's just hanging out gardening with a really cute bird on his head. All right. So just center those in each section. Put all 4 of these on. Go. There's another gardening turtle. And the bees are so cute too. Ugh. I really need to get the turtle set out and make some really cute cards with it because at first I did not like the turtles. And then I saw some cards with it and I'm like, oh, those turtles are cute. They're a little weird looking, but they're cute too. So, all right. So we got those 4 on there on the outside of our box. Now these 3, we're going to fold them towards us. All right. And we're going to add the 3 almost squares. Now these aren't quite squares, so figure out which way they go. So you get a nice even border. And we're going to adhere these folded down. Okay, that's important. They don't go here. They go here. Well, there's a turtle with ice cream. It's a turtle after my own heart. So we'll glue these 4 on here, or 3 on here. And then I'm going to show you where to glue the other piece. number 2, and number 3. So we have those 3 pieces on there. Then we're going to flip this over. All right. So I'm going to flip this over, and we're going to adhere the long piece here. Okay. So I'm just going to put this right over top. Now I want it to line up on the top. If the bottom's not going to line up quite right, I don't know why I didn't just make it a little bit longer, but it doesn't matter because you're not going to see that part. So just line it up on the top. Just like that. And this is going to be our box. All right. So now we have gotten through. Let's see. Yes. So now we're going to close our box. All right. I'm going to put some tear and tape right here. This is step 12. If you're looking at the instructions, we're on step 12. So I'm going to put tear and tape, and I'm going to put it as close as I can to the fold. Right. And I want this to be flat, so I'm just going to go ahead and leave this flat. And I'm going to pull this off and stick it down. This way I know my box is going to fold flat. It can fold this way or it can fold this way. Right. So we have that. And now we need to add, and we probably should have, you know what I should have done? I think, I realized this, I should have adhered this before we put this piece on. Oops. If you're making this again, now you know you can adhere this part first and then put this piece on. It's okay. It's not going to show. All right. So now we have 2 squares of garden green, and we're going to fold the edges. They have little score lines at about a 1/2 inch on either side, and we're going to fold them opposite directions. Let me show you what I mean. All right, so they're going to go like that, like a Z. And then we're going to put tear and tape on here. This is the point where I have to remember exactly how I did this. So I'm going to put tear and tape over here. And I'm going to do this on both. So there's one. We're going to do the folds and add some tear and tape to this one as well. And again, these folds are going opposite directions. I just find that it works better to keep them, I don't know, it kind of helps it give it some stability a little bit more or something. It gets it kind of in the right spots. All right. So now I'm going to pull this off of one of these on one side. And what I want to do is I'm going to slide this in and adhere this piece. If you can see, I'm going to get this edge right up against this corner. Okay. So I just want to get that right up against that corner. Make sure it's in the right spot. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here, but I'm going to do it on the other side. Okay. So I have this one, and it's going this way, and I'm going to bring this one right up to this corner. So we'll just slide this in right up to that corner. Right? It will still fold flat. So now I'm going to grab my Take Your Pick tool and get in here. So I'm going to pull off these papers. It's a little bit tricky because they're inside the box now. But I'm going to pull that off and I'm going to close this. All right, so now it's stuck. Just like that. And we're going to do the same thing with the other one. And by closing it, I'm just making sure that my box is going to close so it fits in the envelope. So I'm going to do the same thing over here. I know this is really hard to see, but I have this tear and tape in there, and I'm just going to peel that off. Right now, it's not going to be in the corner. It's going to be down here a little bit. And I'm just going to take this and fold it shut. And when I open it, I now have those two pieces in there. And that's what we are going to adhere our flowers to. Now you can either fold it this way or you can fold it this way, whichever works better for you. What you want to realize is that if you fold it this way, you want to make sure that your flowers don't go off this edge. If you fold it this way, you want to make sure they don't go off this edge, because that's the edge that's going to go in the envelope. And if they go off the edge over here, it's not going to fit in your envelope. I'm going to fold mine this way. All right. And I'm going to start. Let's see. Let's start. I'm going to put some things in the back, all the way in the back, including this green leaf. Now, you can put things off this way. And as you do this, you'll notice that this one is coming all the way over here. So these flowers in front, they can go off to the side, but the ones in the back can't. All right. So I'm going to start by adding this green. Let's put a little bit of green glue on here. And this one, I want to try to get, some good height. I don't want to go above the flap, because again, you want it to fit in the envelope, but I want it to go all the way up, right? Like, we want to get some height in here. So there we go. Now I'm going to put a strawberry slush one over here and make sure that I'm not going off the side. I'm actually going to use a dimensional on this one. So we're going to combine laying things flat and putting dimensionals on things, and those spots in the middle, and it's just going to help us get lots and lots of dimension. So I'm just putting some, I guess I can, putting some dimensionals on here. And we're just going to come in and slide this there. All right. And then I want to add one of my white flowers over here. And again, I can push that off to the right. That's going to be okay. So, and it depends which way your box is folding. I suggest when you're doing this that you do a lot of folding and unfolding of this card, because you're going to want to make sure that things are in the right spot. Okay, so I have that one up there, and then I'm going to put this other little one. I'm going to put it up over here. Okay, and this is going to be our first layer. So there we go. And then we're going to move on to the center. All right, and I'm going to start by putting another one of the strawberry slush flowers on there. And I want to make sure that it's like in here in a way that the box can close and open. So we want it to both close and open. Push it down just a little bit. And this is where it's good to keep opening and closing. All right, so there's that. And I'm going to make sure I can close it still and I can open it. All right, close it and open it. We're in a good spot. Now let's add the other little white one in here. Oops. It's not quite glued yet. It's still drying. I'm going to hold this for just a second. Sometimes you just got to hold something. Check in. We'll add the little white one next to it. Now you could definitely, cut out more flowers, less flowers. You could do this with all different things. You could do it with like balloon images, whatever images you have. All right. there's my white one. Coming pretty good. Then I'm going to add another green stem up here, I think. All right, we're almost actually done with this card. Can you believe it? Tonight is definitely faster than the other nights this week. All right. So just popping that in there. And I'm going to put a, oh, you know what? I don't know. I'm going to do this exactly the same. That's okay. Put this one over here. This one. I'm going to put this one over here. I'm going to put it in behind this white flower. You can really play with these and do different things. Make your bouquet of flowers however you want it to be. So I think I'm going to slide this in back here behind the white. Oh, I like that. All right. So then we're going to add some yellow ones. Oh, I have another yellow one down here. Let's add this with a dimensional. So I haven't really put any dimensionals on that center yet. Just going to put that in there. They can kind of go a little bit lower because when you're looking at this, you're often going to be looking kind of half down at it. So, all right. And then I'm going to put some leaves behind this flower before I glue it down. A little bit of everything. All right. I'm just gluing these leaves kind of together a little bit. And then I'm going to put the yellow on top of there. So I have my leaves and my yellow, and I'm going to put this, I think, on a dimensional up here. We're just going to put a dimensional maybe towards the bottom a little bit. I don't know. How are your flower boxes coming? Are they coming together well? So I'm just putting a mini on here. Hopefully it's good enough. Kind of want it. There we go. All right. I'm going to put this one in here. Put that one on with a dimensional as well. And you have the dies. You can add more or less or whatever you want to do. There is my little box filled with flowers. I used up all my flowers. I have checked. It still folds flat. All right. We're going to add the sentiment to it now. So you should have a circle. This is punched with, I believe, the 1 3/4 inch punch. I'm going to grab some garden green ink. And I'm going to stamp this. You could stamp it in any color you want it. You can do early espresso. You could do a different sentiment on here. I'm just doing things. I really love it. I'm so glad. So glad. Yay. All right. Now I ran out of the ribbon. So this is the ribbon that we've been using all week. My spool ran out. So I'm using a different white ribbon. No worries. And I'm just going to make this look like a bow, but I'm not going to tie it. We're going to fake it. So I'm just going to make it look like a bow. I'm going to make sure it's like the right size. Yep. And then I'm going to lay it on my front panel. I'm just going to take a piece of Scotch tape and tape that puppy down. All right. We're faking it. And then we can put our circle over top. And I'm, of course, going to put the circle on with dimensionals. We need more dimension. pull those off. Pop this on the front. Oh, yay. And then we'll add some sparkle dots to it too. So we got the yellow sparkle dots. Using my take your pick tool, I'm using the putty end for this. Grab a big one, put it here. And then I'm going to take the medium one and put it down here. I think that's a medium. I guess it's small. Are there 3 sizes? No, there's 2. It's small. We'll take a small one, put it down there, and another small one and put it up here. And you could add some like, oh, you know what I did? Up here too. You can add some up here. Because why not? We could come in and add one. Let me see. Let's add one in here someplace. Right in there. And just kind of make it sparkly. Sparkly dots. All right. So there we go. I'm having trouble keeping this in the frame. There we go. There is our super fun little our box card. Fold it up. You can fold these up too, or you could leave them down. Put it in the box, and then it just folds open. It's mantle worthy, right? It's perfect for displaying. All right. Whew. That is the end of our camp. Wow, this has been so much fun. You guys, I have had a blast hanging out with you this week. It has been great to make all these really fun projects, doing stuff that's, you know, a little more time consuming. Most of it isn't hard, just time consuming. Yeah, and I appreciate you all coming and joining me and making things along with me. If you have any questions or you need anything, please just reach out to me. I'm here to help. So I hope you all have a fabulous weekend. Next week, Tuesday, I will be back for Stamp With Me Tuesday. We are going to make a little treat bag box that's super, super easy. It uses a 6x6 piece of pattern paper, and it's so easy. So definitely come and join me next week, Tuesday, and have a fabulous weekend.